Hello my friends in your channel Tech Out Border. Are you ready for the ultimate best graphics card showdown? On this video, we will show you 5 best graphics card on. Make sure to watch till the end because position 1 will shock you. You can find all the products links is on the description below. Let's start with the RTX 3070, best for full HD. If you're not that bothered about 4K or have a 1440p monitor instead, then the Nvidia RTX 3070 is the best graphics card we'd recommend to gamers. The card shares the same Ampere architecture and high-end features as its more expensive sibling, but isn't quite as powerful. During testing, we could not reliably get demanding games, like Cyberpunk 2077, running in 4K with ray tracing on and the graphics settings maxed. But with ray tracing off, the card generally performed excellently and proved fantastic value for money. Elden Ring ran smoothly in 1080p, 1440p and 4K with zero issue, as did Cyberpunk 2077 and Tiny Tina's Wonderland. However, we found the RTX 3070 generally played games around 15 to 20 frames per second slower than the RTX 3080. This meant games, including Cyberpunk 2077 and Control, failed to consistently hit 60 frames per second when ray tracing was activated, averaging between 40 to 50 frames per second during our tests. These frame rates are still comfortably playable, but they don't offer the smooth experience you get on the more expensive RTX 3080. The compromise is forgivable as the 3070 also manages to outperform its AMD rival's performance. Putting the RTX 3070 head-to-head with the slightly cheaper AMD RX 6700 XT, the Nvidia card was constantly 10 frames per second ahead in our in-game benchmark tests. This adds up to make it our recommended card for a 1440 res. Now, let's move on to RTX 4070, solid multi-purpose GPU, perfect for gaming. The Asus ROG Strix Nvidia GeForce RTX 4070 is a modern and reliable multi-purpose graphics card. With a price above $1,000, the RTX 4070 certainly requires a more significant budget. That being said, if you're looking to get a reliable GPU for gaming for around $1,000, the Asus ROG Strix Nvidia GeForce RTX 4070 is the perfect solution. This card comes with 4th Gen Tensor cores, meaning it can compute significantly faster than the standard CUDA cores. This perfectly combines with DLSS 3, Nvidia's AI-powered algorithm that allows you to play at 4K resolution with 70 to 100 frames per second. Its superb ray tracing performance lets you enjoy realistic images while playing complex video games. On top of that, this card's Axial Tech fans allow up to 31% more airflow, making your GPU cooler and quieter. As a conclusion, for its 000 MHz memory speed, 7680 cores for incredible performance, ideal. Next up, we have the RX 7900 XT, powerful graphics card that will let you run modern games on ultra-high settings. The Sapphire Nitro Plus AMD Radeon RX 7900 runs 24GB GDDR6 RAM. It's meant for those who enjoy ultra-demanding gaming. This magnificent, robust, and beautiful GPU will leave no one unfazed. The same is true of the price, but more about that later. The Sapphire Nitro Plus is a power-consuming beast with a 300-watt TDP. If you want to get this card, you'll need to think about investing in a reliable power supply unit, delivering at least 700 watt. With a 2220 base clock and 2560 boost clock, the RX 7900 has much to offer. Combine it with 12288 CUDA cores, and you'll get a high-performing setup that will deliver in 1440 pixel and 4K resolutions. Just as an illustration, the Sapphire Nitro Plus AMD Radeon RX 7900 allows you to play Cyberpunk 2077 with 4K settings at around 50 frames per second. Bear in mind that this was with the game graphics set ultra-high and with ray tracing and TAA enabled. You should also consider buying the best gaming mouse, as you'll need quality tools to cope with this GPU's enormous speed. We have the RTX 3080, best value for 4K gaming. The Nvidia RTX 3080 is the best value graphics card for 4K gaming. While the new RTX 4090 GPU is significantly faster, it's also overkill for most gamers and ridiculously expensive. The RTX 3080 is a great option for those who want to play games in Ultra HD, but don't want to spend well over $1,000. The Nvidia RTX 3080 managed to play both Control and Battlefield 5 in 4K, during our latest checks, with a performance over 60 frames per second with their graphics maxed. On top of that, the RTX 3080 Ti typically only renders games around 5 to 10 frames faster than the base RTX 3080 in 4K with ray tracing and DLSS on. While these gains aren't to be ignored, we still recommend most buyers opt for the much more reasonably priced RTX 3080 since it represents superior value. However, our tests did show that the card can run a little hot and, based on our experience, doesn't have much room for overclocking. Smaller builds will also want to avoid it due to the card's high thermals, which exceeded 90 degrees regularly when playing demanding titles in our test rig's open case. This, plus its large dual-fan design, make it an awkward fit. The RTX 4090, most powerful. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090 is the very first graphics card to launch from the new RTX 4000 series, and it's also the most powerful GPU we've ever tested. In the vast majority of games we tested, it was capable of hitting over 100 frames per second at a 4K resolution. It's even more impressive for esports games such as Overwatch 2, as it nearly reached a 500 frames per second performance. You can't get these kinds of speeds anywhere else. We also found that the new DLSS 3 software helps to boost frame rates even further for compatible games, allowing for a smoother performance in Cyberpunk 2077 when set to a 4K resolution with ray tracing activated. And while the RTX 4090 is arguably overkill for most gamers, it's a fantastic option for content creators that need to render 3D models at a lightning pace. The RTX 4090 won't be for everyone since it costs an absolute fortune and also has a high power consumption to boot. But if you're craving the fastest performance possible from a graphics card, then this is your very best option. Super option for content creators. So, which product is the winner of this showdown? Well, it depends on your needs and preferences. Each graphic card excels in its own way and offers unique features, whether it's the RTX 3070, RTX 4070, RX 7900 XT, RTX 3080 or RTX 4090. There's a product out there that's perfect for you. So grab your favorite and get ready to take your gaming experience higher. You will find all the product link for each marketplace in the description box. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share with your friends, subscribe and turn on the notification bell,